What is up, Steelers Nation? Thank you so much for jumping in to another episode of the AST Call-In Show. I'm Noah Strackbein. This is All Steelers Talk. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. Check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. Find all of my work, including a good old Aaron Rodgers timeline from the Pittsburgh Steelers that dropped this morning at si.com/NFL/Steelers. I got plenty of call-ins. I'm super excited to dive into them. Obviously, we still wait for Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, with Russell Wilson signing last night, who knows what's going to happen? By the time this comes out, Aaron Rodgers might be inked to the Pittsburgh Steelers, might have announced his retirement, might have joined the Pat McAfee show. Who knows what's going on? What we do know is Russell Wilson is in New York. The Pittsburgh Steelers remain waiting, but optimistic. And we've got plenty of calls to answer. Shout out to all of our members. Appreciate you guys as always. If you are not a member and would like to become one, you can do so by clicking the link in the description below or going to the memberships tab on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. With that said, let's dive into it.
Hey, Noah, I got a question. I mean, everybody I know, my cousins, Cleveland, and stuff like that, they keep saying how bad Pittsburgh looks by waiting around for Aaron Rodgers. And I think they're perfectly right. I mean, I think the Steelers organization is taking a hit in their reputation by bowing down, so to speak, to Aaron Rodgers and waiting for him. The other thing I read was that Aaron Rodgers doesn't like to take orders from anybody, so he wants to run his own offense. Do you think him and Arthur Smith are going to get along, or do you think it's going to be worse than what happened last year with Wilson? What do you think? Talk to you later. Bye.
Appreciate it as always. And tell your boys, tell your family over in Cleveland that they can have fun with Kenny Pickett and they can have a good time. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're rocking most likely with Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you this. This is what I was told about the meeting between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. And that is that it was a lot of laying expectations to set the groundwork to say, when you come to Pittsburgh, this is what's going to happen. This is what it's going to be like. This is what the offense is going to look like. This is what your role is going to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Aaron Rodgers was very responsive to it. He had ideas, obviously, but at the same time viewed it as, I understand my role. I understand that instead of this being New York with the Jets or even the Giants, where he has to go in there and be a savior, he's coming to Pittsburgh to be a piece to the puzzle, and an important one, don't get me wrong, but a piece to the puzzle instead of the puzzle, the solution. No, Aaron Rodgers is just a quarterback that they truly believe can win them a Super Bowl, and he believes that the Pittsburgh Steelers can truly win him a Super Bowl, and it's a mesh. It's not he stands above anybody in the city of Pittsburgh. And it's important that they had that meeting and laid that groundwork early, because now it ends or closes the door on those types of questions about, hey, he wants to run his own offense. Are there going to be this issue or that issue with Arthur Smith? Arthur Smith, from everything I've been told, is very excited to work with Aaron Rodgers, if that's the case, that he does not view him as Russell Wilson, that he wanted and supported Justin Fields. I think that was pretty clear. And this time around, it's okay. Aaron's Aaron Rodgers. That guy is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, passing quarterback in NFL history. I think a lot of offensive coordinators are excited to work with him. He also understands it's a bridge situation. Aaron Rodgers has to be here for a year, and then next year it's most likely a rookie quarterback coming in and is going to take over that spot. So the relationship between those two, I'm not too super worried about. I truly believe that Aaron Rodgers understands what he's coming to in Pittsburgh, and that the Steelers have truly laid out exactly what's going on between him and them and their expectations.
Noah, Nick, Scooter Clark calling. Hey, I got two things for you.
Yes, sir.
One, I am actually from the DMV, so Maryland area.
Shout out our boy Nick.
Would love to invite the two of you to tee it up at TPC Potomac at Avenel.
Yes, sir.
Great track. Nick, I know you're right there in the area, so Noah, would love to have you come down and tee it up sometime. The other thing is just seeing here that Russ is signed with the Giants for a boatload of money, of which he definitely would not have got from the black and yellow. So kudos to him. But with that, does that basically assure us of having Aaron Rodgers for this upcoming season? So hopefully we're to the end of this circus and can move on. But thank you for taking my call, and look forward to your answer.
Yes, sir. First off, thank you. Appreciate you. I'm always down. You want to invite me to a golf course? We'll go to a golf course. I'm always about it. I'll call Nick right after this and say, hey, dude, show's in. Second off, I'm heading down to the DMV. I'm going to need a couch to crash on. We're hitting the link soon. When it comes to the Russ situation, shout out Russ. Great deal. $21 million, $10.5 million guaranteed on a one-year deal. Did not think he was going to get that. I thought it was going to be way cheaper. I'll tell you this. I don't think the Steelers' offer to Aaron Rodgers is much different from what that looks like with Russ. I don't know exacts. This is a complete guess, but my guess is that the Aaron Rodgers deal is somewhat similar to Russell Wilson and the Giants, and that he's looking at a 1 year, $20-ish million, maybe $25 million. And then from there, some of it's guaranteed and he moves on. So I do believe that Aaron Rodgers is coming to Pittsburgh. Nothing is imminent. The team has remained steady with that message that they're confident that they are the best fit for Aaron Rodgers, but they are not certain that they are going to get him. That this is, just like the rest of us, a situation they have never been presented with, and therefore they have no idea how it's going to end. None. But they are confident that they are the best landing spot. I think it happens soon if it does happen. I don't have an exact timeline for you. I think it's a good fit. I think we're on the verge. I said yesterday on the show, they think it's going to happen end of this week, early next week, somewhere in that time frame, maybe earlier. And I think we are. I think we are getting close to the end of Pittsburgh and the Aaron Rodgers saga. And look, at a roller coaster that I've enjoyed thoroughly, because what else would we have been talking about for the last 2.5 weeks? Nothing important, nothing fun. At least this gives us something to do, Shout out Aaron for thinking of the little guys in this situation.
Hey, Noah, Nick. It's Panda Game. Just calling because we got a question. Do you think the reason we're not succeeding is because Mike Tomlin has become out of touch and is just living on his former glory? Thanks for the show. Thanks.
All right, I appreciate that. So Mike Tomlin out of touch. Is that what's wrong with the Pittsburgh Steelers? I do think that Mike Tomlin has become an average coach over the last 5 years. I do think in the last 5 years, if you combine it, he's an average coach. He's done a lot more with bad players than most coaches would do. I would say because of that, he's an average coach that deserves to keep his job, but he's not he's going to be the reason that you win a Super Bowl type of coach right now. That's not where Mike Tomlin sits. I don't think he's out of touch with the game. I honestly think that he has growth in himself and accountability in himself that he needs to recognize. And once he does recognize that, he will be better off. He'll allow position coaches to be position coaches. He'll allow coordinators to be coordinators. He'll allow players to be players, and he'll stop favoring some players over others. I think it's a little bit of a combination of everything. And I just think once he has that self-recognition, which I trust Tomlin too, man, he's been in this game long enough. He's adapted enough times to different players and different scenarios and everything to where everybody who comes to Pittsburgh still loves Mike Tomlin. And it's 20 years later. That speaks volumes for what this guy can do mentally. He's got a hump to get over right now. He's got to get past the whole, this is my team, I run this, and, start to lay off and allow himself to recognize, hey, I need another set of eyes in this situation. I need to ease up on control in some things. And once he does that, I think he's fine. And I think the Steelers are in a much better place. I trust that he'll be able to do that. I'm not off the table with him thinking that'll never happen. But until it does, I think the Steelers are exactly where they've been, and they won't get any further.
Hey, Noah, I'm back. Sorry it's been a bit, but I'm back. You talked me off a ledge. You got me into BetterHelp.
Yes, sir.
You put me in BetterHelp.
Yeah, I did.
But then the other day, I'm talking to my counselor, and he's saying, hey, brother, I got something for you. I got a new plan for you. I got a new plan forward for you. I said, okay, what is it? Sounds good. Let's do it, Doc. He says to me, hey, it's kind of new. I don't know if Yinzers take to it. It's kind of a new process, but I hope you're open-minded to it. He says, I want you to do a darkness retreat. Brother, I almost went through the phone so hard, so fast, his poor kids were going to be scarred. His kids were going to be
gosh.
scarred. I don't know what's going on. I do not know what happened to my Steelers. I don't know. I don't know how we got here. I love Omar. I love the team he's building.
Yes, sir.
I love the off season. Last year almost gave me a heart attack, but I'm down with it. I'm down with what he's doing. But I'm tired of the 1 year things. I know we're trying to get TJ a championship. We're trying to get Cam a championship.
Yep.
But the Steelers don't do this. We draft the best available. We build a team, and then we get Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I know you want to blame the quarterback situation on Ben, which I understand. We did it one other time with Terry. Terry said, I'm fine. Don't draft Dan Marino. And we didn't.
Yep.
How many would we have?
A lot more.
Grief. But, man, this is getting tough. I'm happy for you and Nick. You all get to talk about this, and it's fun for you all.
Thank you.
And it's great. But, man, me and my brother, we're old. We're old Steelers fans. And you're killing us. My brother finds it hard to listen because he needs some good news. He needs something positive, not darkness retreats. we want to know that the Steelers haven't lost the Steeler way, that we're going to come back, that we're going to be strong, and we're going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers again, and not picking up a guy for a year here and there and just filling holes with 1 year guys. I want a team.
I agree.
Filled with Rod Woodson's. I know he went to the Ravens, but Rod Woodson's and James Harrison's and hey, Noah, I'm back.
All right, so our boy got cut off there, and we got others, and we're gonna dive into them. But I want to address it one at a time here, okay? When it comes to a team, I think the Steelers do have a team. You got to look at, they got the Patrick Queen, which I understand, not the greatest first year, but still pretty big name when it comes to the inside linebacker room in the NFL. They got the DK Metcalf. I have full faith in Jaylen Warren. They got the Pat Freiermuth. They have the TJ Watt. They have the Cam Hayward. They have the Minkah Fitzpatrick. They have the Joey Porter. Now they got the Darius Slay. They have Alex Hyde. Like, they have the guys. They have the Keanu Bentons. They have hopefully a Kenneth Grant or a Walter Nolan or somebody else that they could add to the mix as well. Deshaun Elliott's. They got the Deshaun Elliott's. Like, they have their guys. They have a team. They've built a team. And I think that's so important in this entire situation is that, yeah, Aaron Rodgers has been a wild goose chase, and it's been nuts. It has been something not any of us have ever expected. But outside of the quarterback position, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a team, and that team has been built, and it's taken a long time because they haven't been good. And the Steelers should have won their last Super Bowl in 2017. If they did that, this course is not changed. They are right on track. This is exactly where they should be. And I think a lot of people, have a hard time accepting that because they didn't win a Super Bowl in 2017. I get that. I understand. They should have. I think they would have if Shazier doesn't get hurt, but they don't. And if they do, this is exactly where they need to be. That was the last year. That was the big one. That was their team. Then the team had to crumble after that, and they had to rebuild it. Well, they're here, and I truly think that they do have a team around them. All right. There's more coming. Don't even worry.
Sorry, no. Got cut off again. Happens to me every time. I'm used to having 50 minutes in therapy. Anyway. We want to know that the Steelers haven't lost their way completely.
Yes.
I know we haven't blown it up, but man, if we've lost our way completely, and I know this is a new game, This isn't the game my brother and I grew up watching, right? This isn't the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s. But, man, we've got to hold on to something. We've got to hold on to something that made us great. We can't blow that up in lieu of blowing the team up, right? So talk me through it. Talk me through the plan, the strategy, I know you guys are young, but, man, make it make sense for us. Thanks, man. Talk at you. See ya.
First off, you need to call every week, okay, Jay? Because you make my Wednesdays better. You make my Wednesday mornings so much better. All right, let's talk about the Steelers way. It's important to talk about the Steelers way. The Steelers way, I don't think has changed. I don't think it has vanished. I think the culture has taken some hits because some bad apples have come through, and I don't think all those bad apples are gone yet. But I do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a place, once again, where they have the foundation built. This is just a team that should not have been viewed as a Super Bowl team, but they have been. They've been a bad team with bad injuries and a lot of downfall. But if you hold on to Ben Roethlisberger long enough, you're going to think we still got a shot. We could still win a Super Bowl. When realistically, that window was shut. It was not open. Ben could get you as far as he could get you. And I understand that. I understand that Ben alone could win you a Super Bowl. I get that. But the chances of it happening were slim. And the Steelers were viewed as a Super Bowl team when they were nowhere near a Super Bowl team. They have now climbed out of that slowly but surely. They grabbed the Alex Highsmiths. They got the Joey Porter Jr.'s. They got the Zach Frazier's and the Mason McCormick's and the Troy Fautanu's and hopefully the Broderick Jones. And they got the Jalen Warren and they got for now, George Pickens and the DK Metcalf and the Pat Freiermutes and the, Keanu Bettons and, the Nick Herbigs and the Peyton Wilsons. Like the list goes on and on and on and on. This is what they have. They built it. They slowly built it. They slowly got their big guys without having a big pick. That's what they did. And you have to give them credit where credit's due. That's what they did. And it's impressive. I think the Steelers need a quarterback. I think that if the Steelers don't miss on Kenny and they wait one more year and just say, screw it, we're riding it with Mitch. This is going to be brutal, but it's got to happen. And if they don't draft Kenny and they draft a quarterback the following year, they're a Super Bowl team right now. But they drafted Kenny. That started a landslide that I think they're trying right now to say we will not fall into once again. We will not draft Tyler Shuck in the first round. And I could be wrong on this, but this is how I feel. We will not draft Tyler Shuck in the first round because next year we could get an Archie Manning. And they want the Archie Manning. So I don't think the Steeler way is dead. I don't think the tradition's gone. I don't think this team is nearly as bad as everybody thinks it is. I think all around, it's a pretty decent team with no quarterback. And they need a rookie quarterback, but they need a good rookie quarterback. And they could get that in a year. Patience is key in this situation. It sucks that they got here, but I think it's going to be okay. I truly do.
Hey, Noah, this is Andrew from Florida giving you a call here.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to talk about Mason Rudolph today. And, maybe if we find Aaron Rodgers by now, then this question just becomes moot. But, I wanted to know why we aren't really considering him as, like, a serious option to be a starter next year. Because, if you look at it, like, from my perspective, right, I think the Steelers are a better team than the Titans pretty much everywhere. So,
yeah, definitely.
He's bound to have more success than he did with Tennessee, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, if you really look at things, he's been the best quarterback we've had since Ben, over that course at the end of the 2023 season.
True.
And, none of the remaining options are good. I don't really like anybody who's in the draft. And, I could see him being like a bit of like a, just plug and play type of guy that could work for Arthur Smith's offense. And it just seems like the Steelers just really would rather bring in anybody else. And I just don't see why they view it that way and won't use Mason as a bridge. I think they can definitely make the playoffs using Mason as their quarterback. Like I said, he's been the best quarterback they've had if you look at everything since Ben retired.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, or is there any particular reason they just don't take Mason that seriously?
So when it comes to Mason Rudolph, I agree. I think for one, to start, we have to acknowledge Mason has been the best quarterback the Steelers have had since Ben Roethlisberger in that short stretch. I think Justin was really good, and I think if you took the beginning of Russ, it's the best. But I think Russ by the end of it was not the best. You look at Mason as a guy that I agree with. He could get you to the playoffs, and he could probably win 10 games if you want to. I think the difference between him and Aaron Rodgers is everybody wants to talk about the downside of Aaron Rodgers. Like, it could blow up. He could be done. It's at 41 years old. You don't know what you're going to get. I agree with all that. But I also look at it and say Aaron Rodgers gives you a shot to win a Super Bowl. He can't win you a Super Bowl. The Steelers have to win you a Super Bowl, but he's the quarterback that gives you a shot against Josh Allen, gives you a shot against Patrick Mahomes, gives you a shot against Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. Like, if you end up face to face with these guys and you need a shootout, at least you got Aaron Rodgers, who's done this many times before. It's like Ben, Ben at the end was still phenomenal, and he could run with any of them, but he couldn't have been the piece that won you a Super Bowl. You needed a team to carry him to the Super Bowl. That's what the Steelers are looking at right now. That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when it came to the last year, the last run for Tom Brady. That's how the Steelers view Aaron Rodgers. And I think it's a smart way to view Aaron Rodgers. He's not the savior, but he's the best opportunity that the Steelers have, and they are well aware of that. I don't think they're all in on a first-round quarterback that's going to work out. I think the way they view it is a mid-round quarterback that they can develop and challenge for a rookie that comes in the first round next year. That's how I view it. And I think they're comfortable with Mason Rudolph, but they're just confident it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. They're confident Aaron Rodgers is going to work out. Their stance throughout this entire thing, whether it's me, Nick, some ESPN guy, some Fox Sports guy, doesn't matter, some dude at the bar, like, we all view it in somewhat of a negative light. Like, oh, it's dragging out. What if the Steelers don't get him? The Steelers the entire time have been confident that they are going to get him. They are not confident that it's a definite, but they believe they are the best landing spot. They believe that there's a respect between the two sides, and they believe by the end of all of this, if it doesn't work out, they gave it their best shot. They really, they made this thing worth Aaron Rodgers' wild when it comes to a chance to win, not money, and said, all right, you could take it or leave it. And they believe that he will take it. So it's, they're comfortable with Mason starting a couple of games if he needs to. They're probably comfortable with him starting an entire season if they need to. But Aaron Rodgers gives you a shot at a Super Bowl, and I think they acknowledge that.
Hey, Noah, this is Mike Brown from Stonesville, Ohio. Want to give a
Yes,
shout
sir.
out to Knox for the membership.
Yes, sir. Shout out Knox.
You think that one of the main reasons that Justin Fields left is because when George Pickens said that comment that he don't throw receivers open, but Russell Wilson does, and then on top of that, Mike Tomlin coming with that's why I get paid the big bucks comment. I personally think that was a big factor why he's in the Jets now. Have a good one, brother.
Appreciate you. And shout out our boy Knox, dude. Killing it. Can't thank you enough. Can't thank you all enough. When it comes to Justin Fields leaving, I don't know if it's those specifics. I don't know what the specifics are, but I do know that it definitely had more to do with Justin not getting the opportunity. Justin kind of having a sour taste in terms of trust with the Steelers more than it did with money. Everybody wants to make it about the money. And I think the 2 void years and the $30 million is a lot for Justin Fields. But I also know that the Steelers' offer wasn't way off and that they could have made it work. And the Steelers are clearly a better landing spot than the New York Jets, who might draft Jackson Dart over him anyways and just say, oh, we have Justin, but after that, it's going to be Jackson Dart. From everything I've heard, is it's because of what happened and what transpired. And I'm sure that Mike Tomlin's comment definitely made its way to Justin Fields and didn't sit well. I'm sure George Pickens' comment made its way to Justin Fields and didn't sit well. I'm sure the whole situation didn't sit well with Justin Fields all season long. And because of that, he said, the trust isn't here. I got to move on. And I think that is why he is with New York and the Steelers have missed out. I don't think it had much to do with money, although I bet you that, was the tipping point. It was the fact that Justin felt he deserved the starting job throughout the season, and he handled it with true professionalism, and the Steelers kind of shot themselves in the foot by keeping it as Russell Wilson.
Hi, Noah. Absolutely love your show.
Thank
My
you.
husband and I watch every day. I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but I love my Steelers and I can put up with the drama that comes with him for a year. But my question is, Aaron's a quick fix to a long-term problem.
Yes.
What are we doing to secure the franchise quarterback of the future? Is there a plan so that we don't do this year in and year out?
Shout out. Thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. I appreciate anybody who watches every single day. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it, actually. When it comes to Aaron Rodgers and the long-term solution, Aaron Rodgers is a quick fix. He's a this-year situation. He's a get you past 2025 with one last shot to go win it big, and then next year you draft your rookie for the future. And the Steelers are in a place where that rookie really just needs 1 year. He's just got to be good. And in the NFL these days, you're seeing guys like Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud to the point where you think in a year or two, you can win a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback. And that's how the Steelers view this is they want a rookie. They think next year is the better rookies. They're going to go get a rookie next year. Their big splash next year. This year's maybe a guy like Jalen Milroe to compete. Maybe a guy like Quinn Ewers to compete. Maybe a guy like Will Howard to compete. But it's just those guys. And then a year from now, it's go get your big long-term quarterback. And he's the starter right off the jump. And I think that's the best way to go about it. I think even with Aaron Rodgers this year, it gives you one last hurrah to try to pull this thing off. And I agree with that side as well. I'm not into tanking in the NFL. I don't think if you told Cam Hayward that he's got 2 years left and you're going to tank it in one of them, he would take it very well. I don't think TJ Watt at 30 years old with no playoff wins would take it very well. So the Steelers have a short-term plan in Aaron Rodgers. Their long-term plan is next NFL draft. That's their long-term plan. Plus a quarterback this year that can compete next year. And I think that's honestly the perfect way to go about it for Pittsburgh. It's rough that they got here, but they now have the pieces here to say, we can fix this. We just have to follow the plan.
Good morning, Nick and Noah. I hope you're having a wonderful day.
Yes, sir.
I'm
You
just
too.
out here, delivering packages. Unlike Aaron Rodgers, who can't deliver a simple answer. So I hopefully have a good what's more likely for you today.
Oh, yes, sir.
So I'm kind of going with what's more likely. The Steelers actually obtain Aaron Rodgers, and George Pickens and DK Metcalf compete with Higgins and Chase for top spot for wide receiver duo. Or this season coming up, we actually use the middle of the field with whoever the quarterback is, and Freiermuth is one of the top tight ends. Please give me your thoughts. Have a great day.
Shout out our boy, Steven. Hope the UPS life's doing well. When it comes to this, which is a great what's more likely. I'll break it into pieces. Getting Aaron Rodgers is the most likely. That one, tips the scale in that side's favor. I don't think George Pickens is around. I stand by that. I again, if they work it out, I'm always pro player. George deserves a bag. Go get a bag. You know what I mean? I will never change my stance there. But it just doesn't seem likely that he's going to be around in 2025. So I don't think that one is the most likely. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers uses the middle of the field. People love to say that he doesn't, but he does. He does often. And that means that Pat Freiermuth is going to get used in the middle. That means DK Metcalf is going to be used in the middle like Devontae Adams does. That means Calvin Austin is going to get used in the middle. That means Aaron Rodgers is going to start utilizing the entire field for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's easily what's more likely. It's easily what's more likely. You give Pat a shot, he's one of the best tight ends in football. I truly believe that. And the Steelers need to give him a shot. And Aaron Rodgers, he gives Pat Freiermuth a shot. That's what's more likely. I don't think George is going to be around. I know everybody keeps hating on me for it. I'm sorry. If he is around, I'm wrong. And that's okay. I'm okay with being wrong. But I just don't see it happening. I just don't think it makes sense. And everything that I'm hearing is that it's just more likely that he's not on the roster than it is that he is on the roster. So outside of that, I'm saying Pat, and I got a lot of faith in Pat Freiermuth. I think he's going to be very, very, very good. And Aaron Rodgers is going to give him that opportunity. All right, let's finish it off with this one.
What is up, Steelers Nation? Drake here. Hey, Nick and Noah. Love the show,
Yes,
guys.
sir. Appreciate you.
My question is really, what do we have to look forward to this year if we do trade Pickens? We're going to be back to square one with Metcalf and only having one number one receiver.
Yes.
41-year-old quarterback.
Yes.
And our own line that if can gel together can be decent. Love to hear you guys take. Yep, bye.
First off, appreciate you. I think the Steelers are going to be back to that situation, but I see a wide receiver early in the draft. I see a wide receiver possibly as their first round pick, and he replaces George Pickens. It's not off the table that George is here in 2025, but it just feels like the Steelers and George aren't going to make it work. Like, you got to have two sides. If George doesn't show up for the summer, what happens? You know, you can't expect the Steelers to sign him to a long-term deal. They just signed DK Metcalf. They can't franchise tag him. He's still on the final year of his rookie contract, and they can't force him to show up. He can say all season, I'm waiting it out. I'm only 23 years old. And I, of all people, do not need a year of football because I could do things nobody else in the NFL can do. Do I think George Pickens has superstar potential? Every single bit of it. But does it mean that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to sign him to a deal? No. And chances are they're not going to, which means that you don't really have options. And that's the tough part, is the Steelers prepared to move on from George, but they haven't prepared yet to replace him. And maybe that's Roman Wilson. Maybe that's Calvin Austin. Maybe that's a guy in the draft like a Mecca Ibuka. Maybe it's Matthew Golden, who I think is a sleeper, who's a sleeper in the NFL draft for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They met with him at the pro day. He looked good. I think he's a sleeper there at the bottom of the first round. I look at it and go, the Steelers don't have the replacement plan yet, or the replacement option in place yet, but it doesn't mean they won't by the time that they move them. And until they do, you know, you can't really you could come up with hypotheticals all you want about, and we all could, about, hey, the Steelers aren't going to have anybody. This is going to be their wide receiver core. That could change, and there are still a few opportunities to make that change before a trade, in my eyes, actually goes down. All right, y'all. With that said, we're heading out of here. Thank you so much for jumping on to another episode of the AST Call-In Show. Appreciate all of our members and everybody who called in. As always, if you want to become a member, you can do so by hitting the link in the description below or by going to our membership page on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to us, youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. Check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. We're really trying to push the audio download. So if you could do that on Apple, give us a 5-star rating. It would be so appreciated. Thank you. And check out all of my work, including all the Aaron Rodgers updates at si.com/NFL/Steelers. We'll be back later this afternoon for our normal show. With that said, enjoy a beautiful day in the Berg. Peace.